Welcome to Fabulosity For You, and my name is Angie. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please click the subscribe button, then click the notification bell, so when I upload videos, you'll be the first to know. Like this video and make a comment. This channel is about fashion, relationship advice, and lifestyle. And if this is not your first time visiting my channel, well, welcome back, my queens, and welcome to the kings out there. And welcome back to all of my fabulous ones, and welcome to all of my new fabulous ones. Okay, so today I am doing the review of the 90-day Fiancé before the 90 days. Season 7, episode 23, Tell All, part 4. Okay, guys, so this is the last episode. I really don't think we needed a part 4 of the Tell All because last week the Tell All was for only 1 hour and this week was only for 1 hour. So let's get into this. Go get your drink of choice, go get your snack of choice, and come back and sit with your girl Angie. Text, email, call. You better stick a letter in the bottle, baby, and let everybody know that Angie is on the line. So we're going to get right into this. So it opens up where Faith is in the hot seat and everybody's asking her, are you going to break up with Loren? Are you going to break up with Loren? And she's just crying. And she's just crying. And she says, no, I don't want to be with Loren. And she said, I just love him. Loren is hard. It's hard because he really is a good person. But no, I don't want to be with him. So everybody is looking at her like, I'm glad you said that, girl, because you've been making yourself look real crazy out here in these streets. So Sean says, Faith, thanks. And they say to Esther, thank you for coming to the show and for being here, Esther. And she said, you guys need to take a break and Faith needs to dry her tears. So they all got up to get some food, and it looked like Loren grabbed about 5 boxes of food, honey. So Loren is on the streets, baby. He not eating good, but he eating good at the reunion. So he brings his food over to the table where Vanya was sitting, and they're talking. And he's talking to Vanya, and she asked him, where did you think you guys are going to go from here? Loren tries to be hopeful. He says, well, maybe we'll get back together. And she asked him, do you really believe that Faith will take you back? And he started crying. He was like, tears was rolling out his eyes. I don't know. She really has no reason to, but I am devoted to helping Faith if she lets me. He starts crying, and Vanya's looking at him all sad, and she says he really loves her, and she had compassion towards Loren because everybody had been talking about Loren, acting like he didn't care really about Faith, and the way he was, she can tell. She said, I can tell, Loren, that you're hurting. And he says, well, the thing is, I knew something was wrong. She had been very quiet, but she wouldn't talk to me. And then he continued to cry and said he knows Faith is really hurting and feels bad. Now, do I believe his tears? I really still believe that he just wants to get to the Philippines. By hook or by crook or by any means necessary. I mean, he's been with her, so I'm quite sure he has some feelings for her. But I don't think he feels that bad. I think he is crying because that blew his chances of getting to the Philippines. But they said, you have to head back to the stage. So Sean starts talking to Brian and Ingrid. They show a clip that had not been seen before. And it shows Brian going to a restaurant to meet a woman after the breakup. He went back on the app Brazil Cupid and met a woman by the name of Anna. She was older. She was about 42 years old. And she looked like a hooker, honey. She looked like a hooker. And I'm looking at her like, okay, see, this is the type of women you used to dating. You used to dating women that look like prostitutes and who gonna give you what you need, baby, for a piece of change, period. So they were in the restaurant and he asked how old she was and she said 42. He was like, okay. Like, I got me an older woman, that's really not his style. He like the youngest. And he tells her he's 51 years old and they're flirting and Brian says he's feeling different and alive. He says everything he felt in the last hour when he was with Anna surpasses everything in the weeks he has been in Brazil. And all the while they got the camera on Ingrid, and Ingrid looking like, and Ingrid's like, congratulations. Sean says, you and Ingrid broke up that afternoon and you met someone that night? Now, I don't know why they tripping about that, because at the end of the day, Vanya did the same thing, and that's what he said. So, Sean said that he spent 2 to 3 days with the woman. And they asked him, well, did you guys have sex? And he's looking at them like, yeah. Yes, we did. Sean says to Ingrid that Brian said he had a better time with someone he spent only hours with compared to the times he spent with you. How does that make you feel? And she was like, I don't really care. I mean, good for him. Congratulations. She looking like at him like, better her than me, baby. Better her than me. So, after that, Sean asked Brian, she said, you met someone new, didn't you? Or is it Anna? And he said, no. I met someone, and she's from Colombia, and we've been talking for the last 8 months. And she came to Chicago for 2 months to stay with her sister, and she spent time with me. And then he pulled out this big necklace that had a big N on it, and that was his bling. And everybody was like, oh, okay, you got bling, bling. And Ingrid's looking like, this old ghetto dude. And finally, they introduced the mystery woman, and her name is Nati. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. Nati. So, Sean is messy. She introduces Nati to Ingrid. And she asked Ingrid, can you please give Nati advice about Brian? Anything that's going to help her, give her a warning. So, Ingrid was like, when he asks for you to help, he doesn't want help. He will get angry. And right then, Nati agrees. And she said, and Sean was like, you agreeing? And she said, so many times Brian has screamed at me. And I don't know if it's his culture. She said that he's always angry. And they're like, what is he angry about? Well, angry about my clothes. He says I dress too provocative. And then he was like, she had taken pictures with men and on their backs. And I'm sorry, I don't have women. My women don't do that. They don't take pictures with men on their back and dressing provocative. Once you start doing that, I just like, space out and that's it. My girlfriends don't do that. So she was like, it was an innocent picture. I had won a competition and all the girls just jumped on the guys' backs and that was it. Now, I'm going to say this. Anna wasn't really that cute, okay? But Natty is a younger woman and she's absolutely gorgeous. And I guess she gets in competitions with bodybuilding competitions, so her body is bodying, okay? And so, of course he's going to be jealous because he's an older man, he's in a wheelchair, he's, you know, all he has is the money, okay? Which is important for her. And so she's like, it was innocent and I just don't understand where all this anger is coming from. He's always yelling. And so Adeline was like, oh, no, let me tell you something. He loves to see your body. Then you tell me my wife shouldn't have to cover up? Nels was like, so how we end up back with your relationship? And so Shine asked her what she likes about Brian. And she said, he is a nice person, but he lies. And they was like, what did he lie about? And she was like, other women. And so they was like, what do you mean? He says that they're a friend, but then I find out it's something else. And so Sean asked Brian, have you lied to Nathia? And he was like, no, I've never done that. And everybody was like, you've never lied to her? Well, I'm not going to say I've never lied, but I never lied to her about another woman. She knew about this woman I was talking about, which was just friends. And Nathia was like, I really don't know if Brian really respects me. I really don't know that. I feel like I need to get to know him better. And so they asked Brian, has she had sex with her? And he said, yes. And then they asked Nathia, how was the sex? And she said, well, it was different. This is the first time I've been with a man in a wheelchair. But the thing is, he doesn't put pressure on me. He's gentle with me. And Ingrid was like, oh, wow, so you patient with her. Oh, wow. And so they was like, well, what's the difference between Ingrid and Nathia? You was not patient with Nathia. With Ingrid, you was really pressuring her to have sex. And he was like, that's not really true. And I'm just glad that we didn't do anything, that we did not have sex. And so Nathia was saying that, hey, all I know is I really do need to know Brian more. And so Brian is a liar. He is a liar, and he lies about everything, and hollering at people and being angry is no excuse because you're in a wheelchair. Okay, he plays these games, asking women to do things to see if they're going to help him, and I just don't like Brian. But Brian tried to clear his name, honey. Brian said, listen, I'm in this wheelchair, and being in the wheelchair, I could have blood clots. My heart can stop at any moment. And I want to live my life to the fullest. I'm not committing no crimes. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just out here dating. And so Vanya was like, well, as long as you're not hurting anybody. And he was like, I'm not hurting anybody. Well, as long as you're not lying. And he said, listen, I'm just trying to live my life to the fullest. And I'm a man out here dating in these streets. And so everybody was agreeing with him. You know, if you can die at any point, of course, we're going to say live your life. But that does not excuse his behavior. And that's what he was looking for. And try to excuse his behavior and want people to feel sorry. He was like, and I don't want anybody to cry for me. Don't cry for me, Argentina. You know, it is what it is. But I could die at any moment. And that's anybody that can die at any moment. And I just want to live my life to the fullest. So Sean, they were done. They were done with Ingrid and Brian. So Sean goes to Joey and Magda. And Sean says to Joey that none of your friends were willing to come to the tell-all. Is there anything that you didn't want them to bring up? And he was like, no. She asked Magda, did Joey's friends seem like they were hiding anything from you? And she was like, no. So she says, well, I have a clip and some never before seen moments. And she showed the clip when Joey was with all his friends in the swimming pool. And they asking him, did you tell Magda that you and one of the ladies there in the pool had dated? And this woman was really pretty. And he was like, well, no, I didn't tell her that. But I have also haven't told her that I had a sexual encounter with somebody I want to say he said 5 months ago or 5 weeks ago, something like that. And then they showed this other woman and this guy, one of his friends, two of his friends, and they was like, we don't understand why Joey has to go to Poland and find a woman and the lady was like, because he's handsome, he's, he and I hooked up. We didn't date, but we did hook up. And he has stamina. And he's good looking. And he's just a horny thing. And that's when the guy was like, his friend was like, yeah, I don't understand why he has to go to Poland to find a woman when there's plenty of women here that he can have. And he was looking mortified. Joy was looking mortified watching his friends say this. And so Magda was like, did you have intimacy with Stephanie? And he was like, no. He didn't. He said, he wasn't saying anything. He was just looking like this. And she said, yes or no? And he know this woman snap off. And she said, if she found anything else, she done with him. And so everybody was like, let's answer the question. It's a yes or no. And he was like, we kissed. And Vanya was like, she said y'all hooked up. Hooked up is not just kissing. Okay? Tell her the truth. And he was just like this. That was a long time ago. I never said that because we didn't date. That was a long time ago. And the woman was a butt ugly, honey. She was not attractive, okay? And he wasn't claiming that woman. He said, that was a long time ago. And everybody was like, just tell her the truth. And Loren was like, I have wrote down every woman I've been with and the time it was, and I handed it to Faith so that there's all the secrets is on the table. And so maybe you can do the same. And he looking at him like he a fool. And I'm looking like he a fool because I don't feel like you have to tell your partner, every person you've been with. But I do think it's important if it's a friend group and somebody you've had sex with is hanging around, then I would want to know. So Joy needs to come clean with that. But at the end of the day, he never did, honey. That man was quiet. It's all outdoors. So Sean asked Magda, and Magda looked mortified. Magda looked so upset. She tried to keep her cool. Sean asked Magda, is there anything you want to ask Joy? And she says, no. So Sean ended the tell-all, okay? And so it showed everybody walking out. Joy was looking at his phone. Adonai said, are you in trouble? And he was like, trouble? Meanwhile, they showing Magda on the screen, and she's like, I don't know why he continues to lie to me. Why Joey can't tell me the truth. Why Joey don't tell me the truth. I just don't know. I just don't understand. I am trying to keep my cool. I'm trying not to cry, and I'm trying to keep my cool, but I am so angry that he keeps lying to me. Honey, he calls her up, and he looks at the phone, and he can see she is absolutely pissed. And so he don't talk with her. They, he was like, am I in trouble? And she, So anyway, they end up getting off the phone. And honey, he was like upset because he been busted out. And he was like, this happened a long time ago. We already got the stuff straight. Then they going to bring it back again. We was already cool. I had already told her what I needed to tell her. And then he was like, listen, I'm ready to go. And he started grabbing his stuff. And Vanya was like, are you leaving? He said, yes, I'm leaving. I'm ready to go home. And honey, he jumped in his car service, and that man was gone. And that ended the tell-all. That's it. That's all. We finally completed the journey of the 90-day fiancé before the 90 days. Season 7. I really enjoyed this particular season. It was a lot of craziness. It was a lot of mess. We finally got done with it. I hope you enjoyed this season. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I have to decide what is going to be the next show that I review. And so if you have any suggestions, please put it down in the comments. If you enjoyed this season with me, give me a thumbs up. Like this video. And so it'll be probably maybe another 2 weeks. In about 2 weeks, I probably will start up with another one. And so that's all I have. And thank you for watching my channel.